Hey everyone, it's Renee. Thank you so much for coming back to Real Quick Moments. You are on our official episode 2, wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Google Podcasts, also Breaker, Overcast. Thank you so much for subscribing. Make sure you like, share, retweet, post, Instagram, even Facebook. Make sure you guys check us out. So today on our episode, we're going to talk about, are you ready? We're going to talk about the value of friendships. Valuing all your friendships or even all your relationships. I definitely want to share my piece following up on our last episode with speaking the truth. We all have friends in our lives that, they've been there whether we just met them or they came along the way or they're from our childhood. Our friends or people who we call our friends or people who claim they're our friends are important. And I know, and I think, and I believe it is so important, it's imperative actually to let people know that you value them. Because if we don't do that, at some point in the life of the friendship, people will start to question and start to think, am I valuable? Do they think that they're valuable? Why are we even friends? And you don't want that. And even in doing so, they might not be people that are overly, they're sharing with you, or they're not sharing, or they're not affectionate or loving, or they show any kind of emotion, but they're always there for you no matter what. So in telling them, not just saying to your friend you appreciate them, you can show them, just like you guys know the love languages, the different love languages. I believe you can apply that to friendships with, acts of service or gifts or, affection, telling them different ways. But it is important for someone to know that you appreciate them or you care them or you even value them. And in doing so, for guys and girls, women, men, ladies, or even children, there are different types of affection. There's different types of, they reciprocate things differently based on the person also. And needless to say, culture. People are different with their cultures, so they may not want to accept those things because some of our friends are prideful. Some of our friends are too open or not open or they're shy, but you still have to tell them. I've had a friend since I was a child. She's my first friend. I called her my first friend in life. I don't remember anybody before her. Her name is Jody, and we actually don't live in the same country together anymore. She lives in Jamaica and I live here, but when I used to live in Jamaica, she was just always there for me no matter what. We've done so many things together. We've climbed the trees and the mountains and run around in our backyard and things like that. And we didn't go to the same high school, but we kind of grew up together, and she was a little bit older than me. I don't think ever until I was an adult, I said to my friend, that I love you, or we share, our secrets and our or fears together. And I don't think it was a problem for me to say that I love her or her to say it because it was felt, it was known, because we've been through so much together, or even at some points when we weren't friends or we weren't talking, she was always there for me. And I, not to say she needed me, but I think I needed her more now as an adult than when I was younger, or even when she was younger. I don't think we needed each other as much, but we had that time to evaluate, or we grew up and saw who was really there for me, who is here now, and when they were there for me, what was it like? And God has a way of showing us people when we don't even know why they were there. He has a way of showing us, like, I had placed this person in your life from long ago, but you didn't know that you need them now. And she's one of those people in my life now, giving sound advice, now giving, love. And, she's a mom and a wife and so much wisdom, so wise, to where we can go back to, childhood. And I haven't seen her in person for years, but it so happens that when we get back together again, it's like nothing happens. When we talk on the phone, she's busy doing, her life, but she's always there when I need her. It doesn't matter, we didn't speak for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. And it's not that we purposely haven't spoken, life happens. But I make it my duty now to tell my friend, hey, I love you. I need you, or if you're ever there for everything that you need, I'm going to be here for you, and I support you in whatever you're doing, your endeavors. If it's something that I believe in, I definitely am going to be there to push you and support you. And that's how, we currently are establishing our relationship, especially if we're both, believers. If we're both Christians, it's a different kind of relationship, more than just, a child. There's still love in any relationship is there, but as a body or a set of believers, as we have a different kind of bond that is so profound that we can call each other and pray for each other, talk to each other, or, we might, in our devotion or worship time, have something in our spirits about, to pray for without even speaking to them. But because we've had that bond with each other from we were children, and now we have both given our life over to God, it has brought so much more, let's say, depth that we didn't even know as friends / now sisters in Christ. So, and I love her dearly. I love her family. Her family is my family. It's not even my friend. She's my sister. And that's how in the value of our friendships, in the middle of the night, I can call this person, hey, I need you. I need to talk. Or, she can call me and ask me if I need to talk. Because there is value, because there's not a price tag on our friendship, because it is appreciated, it was cared for, it's both ways, it's been reciprocated both ways, not just her giving or me taking and her giving. It has some weight to it. And so I believe in, even, let's say, relationships with guys, it's different, or it could be the same depending on where these guys are from. There are some guys that you'll never hear them, tell their boy, hey man, what's up? Like, I love you, you good, yada, yada, yada. Guys are just be like, hey, you aight, man? And that's it. But you would have to know your friend to know if he's that kind of guy. If he's a guy that's affectionate, or I don't mean like guys should be affectionate. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that if that's your homeboy, that's your partner, that's your brother, or even you look up to this person in your life, I believe in it for men, even one time in life, hey man, I love you. If you need anything, I'm here. Or even sit down and talk to them. Because men aren't affectionate, but they need the affection, not only from women. Some men, because they have deeper issues, or some may have daddy issues, and that's the truth now. Men have daddy issues. They really do, especially, well, I'm not going to segregate or separate or isolate any, cultures. Men on a whole, white, black, Chinese, Indian, just like women, they all have some, not all, some have daddy issues, some have mommy issues. And if you don't have those kind of issues, and that's great, that's wonderful. Thank God for that. A round of applause if you don't, and be grateful for that. But the ones that do, they take their relationships with other males so either serious, or they're kind of finicky. They're kind of wavering, because what's not realized is that seeds that were planted from not having their father there, or if their father went away or disappeared or did something to their mother or their family, they don't realize that it goes into other relationships, because they don't feel valued. So if their dad wasn't there, and if their dad was just rough, and again, this doesn't just go for men, really, it goes for women also. If they aren't told from they were children or a child that they're valued, or that they're needed, or that they're loved or cared for, hey man, good job, you're doing something well. Some of them grow up angry. Some of them grow up quiet. Some of them grow up to be obsessive or controlling. Men and women, again, behave this way, because it goes back to not knowing that they're valued, or that they're anything, or that they're anybody. Not to saying that they aren't, but sometimes because it wasn't heard, they don't know what it's like to hear it. They don't know what it's like to feel it, or even how to respond when it's said to them, right? So now if they go into a relationship, or even me, if you go into a relationship not knowing that you're valued or even appreciated as a friend, as an individual, you're going to always, or oftentimes, most times, sometimes, or even one time, feel like, why are you here? Why am I needed? Or you may not even see it like that you're not, why are you here even? You may see it as, you know what, I just want to make everybody happy, make somebody like me. So you're going to now become a yes man. All because this person, or a guy or a woman was not told they were valued, or because they weren't shown that they were valued. So now it kind of goes to, can they be a friend? Do they know what it means to be a friend? And being a friend, that's another thing. You have to know what it means to be a friend. What does it mean to be a friend to you? What is a friend? Much more rather than to be something to someone, or even to know how to value that relationship or a relationship, or to know that you can accept someone saying to you that they value you as a friend. Because now, if both of you, or 3, 4, 5, how many other friends you are, it needs to be a what is that, like mindset of the word friend now going into friendship, now relationship. They all kind of circle around together, feeding off of each other, right? So valuing the friendship needs to go back to, what is a friend, right? Now, after you know what is a friend, are you to somebody else what you want? Are you even that? Because that can become selfish, wanting something that you're not to someone. That's not fair, right? So going back to, real quick, my friend Jody, right? When we were younger, we didn't have, she was older than me, she was more popular and stuff. And, I was a different kind of friend, and I was younger than Jody. So there were some times where I'd be like, well, hey, what about me? You're going out, you got new friends now, you're going to college, or you're going to high school and things like that. And with her doing that, there were some times I was like, okay, remember me. But it was never to where she would ever shun me or push me away. She would just be gone. But I had to know in myself that my friend would never willingly do that. Or if I wasn't secure in our friendship, or who she is as a person, that's different from our friendship. Knowing who your friend is, how they are, or things that they dislike or don't like. You have to know those things, because if you take some stuff really to heart without knowing, like, they don't really mean that. So you also have to know the person, because people have their days. No one is perfect, and so they'll have their days, and you're gonna probably maybe feel like they don't appreciate you, but you can't let that one time throw you off from saying that's not my friend. And so I believe, like the Bible tells you, a friend sticks closer than a brother, and a friend will lay down your life. Now, I'm not saying that, somebody gonna kill somebody, you jump in, but then again, will you? Will you jump in? Do you think they'll jump in for you? Would you think second if something was going wrong to save their life rather than yours? At the same time, your friend and your family, or your family becomes, your friend becomes your family, actually. So in your friend becoming your family, that's now saying you're thick as blood, or even thicker than the blood, because there's those relationships of we have with our family members that are not as close. They're not as, tightly knit as you would want them to be, but that's okay. Now you have that friend in your life that God has allowed to be in your life to become your family, and you're not neglecting your family, but now you can appreciate, like we're saying, or put value, right? Because that's what we're talking about, value and friendships. It's all coming together. Now we're not talking about anything else but the value of friendships, right? So bringing that and saying, you can now understand the value of even love or appreciation, or not even appreciate, but just showing concern, someone showing concern, because everybody doesn't have that relationship in their families, right? I can understand that my family sometimes, boy, listen, I come and I don't even know if, am I in the right family? Like, God, where did you put me? Because this is not it, bro. This isn't it at all. But because I'm able to go ahead and establish another type of relationship with our friends, we can do so. So, right, we can establish our different relationships with our friends anytime in life. If they're real friendships, you can not see them for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Because things are happening in your life, you don't forget that bond that you created. You don't forget that bond that was established from birth. Now, having best friends, close friends of the opposite sex, it could be good and bad for relationships or just how you transition in your life or how you're maturing or growing or developing in your life. The relationships can change if they're, they're different in ways of the guy. If you grew up with them when they were younger, they were boys or they were girls. Now y'all are men and y'all are women. Things change, right? Relationships happen. So my two guy best friends, which I've had since college, they're two different set of people, okay? And I love them with everything. I love them to life. But there are times in our relationships that they're not affectionate people. One is affectionate or one isn't. So there's one friend that I have to literally try and understand him. And me as a woman or the kind of person that I am, I have to know and understand my friend sometimes better than he does, because I know he didn't grow up affectionate. He didn't grow up hearing or saying certain things of affirming him as a man. That didn't make him less than. That honestly made him more to be secure in knowing that I won't do that or I won't be like that. So he wanted to become, or he is what he didn't have, right? And also for his child, he makes sure he does that. He made up in his mind that he is going to become, or that he is what he wasn't. And I have to appreciate that. And I love him and I value him to life. I value him. And anytime I talk to him, I tell him, hey, I appreciate you. Because to put up, some of our friends that put up with us, listen, it is not easy. Everybody is not for us and we are not for everybody. I understand that we can love everybody, but not everybody's going to be your friend. Not everybody's going to stay your friend. And that doesn't mean like, oh, new seasons, people change. People sometimes, they do change, but do you want to change? And do they want to, hello. Yeah, guys, so we just had a little visitor pop in, no worries. So we can always want to tell our friends how we feel and what we're thinking, but that doesn't mean they have to have the same views. And them not having the same views as us, that doesn't mean that a friendship should die. That doesn't mean that it needs to have a disagreement and that's it, we never talk again. No, because we're going back to when we said we have to know our friends, know who they are as individuals, know who they are as people. And knowing who they are for that one situation that happened shouldn't determine the life or the continuation or the course of the friendship, right? So, couple points, because we said a lot, right? Because we're doing real quick moments. We're not having a whole therapy session. We're about to wrap up real soon. Couple points we're going to go back. We're going to go back to letting your friends know you value them, saying it, showing, right, that you value them by different acts of service, different love languages. And you guys can go find the love languages or create your own language for your friendship, right? Not your girlfriend, your boyfriend, but your friend. But if you have your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your wife or your husband or your fiance, they're your friend. The friend part of you needs to be following these steps too. And this is me sharing my view, my belief on valuing. I don't speak for the whole world, okay? So we're going back to showing them these things, saying that they do it, knowing who the friend is, knowing who the person is separately from outside of the friendship, right? Because you guys could have a different type of relationship when you're together versus this is how this person is. That doesn't mean it's a different type of person, because when people are behind closed doors or one in their own quiet time, they just want to be, and that's fine, right? Also, a big thing with valuing your friendship is not always giving and not always taking. Sometimes you can give without even getting anything back. And if you get something, show the appreciation, show the love, show the gratitude, right? And if it's not given or said, that's okay. Because you know what? If the person isn't like that, they may just be having a day or a moment, or it doesn't matter because you did something out of the kindness of your heart for your friend that you love and that you say that you care for, right? And if your friend now becomes your family, You don't treat your family any less because of this person you have now incorporated in your life that is you've now called them your family, or that they're closer than your family to you. You don't throw your family away, because that's still your family, no matter what. No matter what. And people say, your family is where your home is, or your home is your family. None of that. I don't believe that at all. I believe that people change, people go through things. Time changes people, time changes things, and you grow and you mature, like we said. They develop and they learn new things, but you have to have patience and you have to have the love, because you need, and this is where we're going to wrap up. This is where we're going to say, remember what a friend is. What does that define to you right now? You can look it up in the dictionary, internet, or whatever, but what is a friend to you? What does that mean, right? What is a friendship to you? And now find out what those words mean to you. And is it happening? Are you that thing that you want? Or is that friend or in your life doing those things? And it's not that you're going to stop talking to them, but sometimes we have to evaluate. You have to evaluate. Don't just take things for what it is. Because without having a definition or defining something, it's kind of like chaos. It's kind of like you're just accepting whatever. But you don't even know what you're accepting because you don't know what it is. Right? Remember those things. So thank you so much for listening, watching, tuning in, however you're watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow up, send a message, send a tweet, DM, any which way you want. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Real Quick Moments. I'm out.